Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi Karen. Hi Sally. Well, you're all jumping on now. Hi Linda, Charlotte. Yes, you can hear me, Sally, thank you. Hearing you good day, Ashley. Yes, hi Caroline. Hi Pat. Rita. Yes, hello, yes. Hi Barbara, Maria, Max. Fab, you're all jumping on. Paula. Rachel here, yeah. Joanne. In Canada, hi. Rita, you're able to hear me? Great. Oh, lovely. So how's everybody doing? I'll give it a few minutes because it's not quite 6 o'clock yet. Good evening, Janet. Hi, Tony. Dawn Johnson, I'm sure I ask you this every week, but it says Dawn from BC. Where's BC? Is it British Columbia or is it somewhere else? Hi, Thea, Alison. Oh, I've just got a shiver. Hi, Erica. Keisha, is that? Have I said that right? Sorry if I'm butchering people's names. Rita says she's well and hot wherever she is. Brilliant, thank you, and hoping you and yours are well. All fine here, touching wood, thank you. Ready for a nice distraction. You don't know what I'm doing yet, Patty. Loud and clear from Alison. Esther from Florida. Patty, everything's fine with me. Keep touching wood, you know. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Barbara. Oh, I've got that right, Keisha. Thank you. I'm always terrified that I say the wrong pronunciation. Abbotsford, British Columbia is correct. Fab. I'm sure I've probably asked you that before, but my memory is shocking. Gig Harbour, Washington. Hi, Brenda. Sue, hi, good to see you all, and hope everyone's okay, Sue's saying. Linda Lee in Lockport, is that New York? Good evening, ready to learn again, Alan's saying. Right, well, I've kind of not got anything specific, but I have, if that, I mean, that's not going to make sense at all, but anyway. Somebody messaged me. I think they either messaged me or they left me a message on here, I can't remember, and they wanted to know how to do those, I'm not even sure what you call them, you know, those funny characters that you have over some letters. I think in German, I think they're called umlauts, but I'm not actually sure what they're called in other languages. You know, like you have a funny like dash or something over a letter. If you're on here, will you let me know who it was that asked me? Because I've got it scribbled down on my pad, special characters. And I know somebody also last week asked about welding text together. So I kind of thought, you know, as it's all letters and text, I could combine it all tonight, hopefully. There Christine's saying hi, Beverly's saying hi. Accents. Okay, is that what they are? Accents. I didn't think it was you, Ellen, but maybe it was. I had a feeling it was somebody else. Or was Ellen, were you asking about... Oh no, okay, so Ellen, you think you asked and it was accents. Okay, that's fine. Who asked about the welded words then? Because I thought that was Ellen. So Rita's saying it's 30C or 85. Oh my days. In Los Angeles. Well, it's about 10, I think, if we're lucky here in the UK. Hi, Alison, Morgan, Mandy. Okay. So Erica's saying, I asked last Wednesday about welding. Okay, so it was Erica. See, Erica and Ellen both begin with E. Told you I'm rubbish at all this kind of stuff. Welding text, but the fact you are telling us how to find special characters is amazing. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to do this in Canvas Workspace for computer. So let me change my screen and hopefully... I know, Erica, I am rubbish. I'm rubbish with names anyway, at the best of times. And then when people ask me things on a Sunday or on a Wednesday, I scribble them down on a pad on my desk. But if I don't write down who asked me, I've just got no chance. But I thought somebody had messaged me as well. But anyway, so Ellen, accents. Did you want to do any particular word with an accent? If you could just let me know. Meantime, I'm just going to start off with something simple and then hopefully we'll see how it goes. Oh, so I've just seen Rita's saying, is it dictrical marks is what they are called? I've probably said that wrong as well, but hey ho. Right, so let's get going then. So I'm in Canvas Workspace for computer. I'm going to click on the text icon and I'm just double checking that you can all see. You can. Okay, you can all see my mat. So the first thing I'm going to do is keep it simple. I've just seen Ellen say you want Andre, A-N-D-R-E, accent over the E. Okay, that's fine. I'll do that in a minute. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is Ola. Ola, Ola. I'll make it big. I think that's hello in Portuguese, isn't it? I had to Google to find some words that had the accent thing over it. This was the best I could come up with, I'm afraid. So what I'm going to do, let's find a font. And this is where the computer starts going on a go slow when I'm sharing my screen. So what font should we try? Can anybody see a font that they want me to just pick a random font? I'm actually freezing today. So Lynn Gaskell's got, woohoo, got you on big TV. Oh, my days. I'm not so sure that's a good idea, Lynn Gaskell. Deborah Burke saying, you got this. Oh, I don't know. Okay, come on, we need a font. What should we choose? Oh, dear me. Right, let's try, pick random. Okay, Calgary, there we go, that's random. So this is in my font list. I have a feeling that Calgary is a canvas font, but you know, you're going to have to play around with this and try it for yourselves because I work on a Mac and I know how to find the special characters on my Mac, but for Windows, I think it's called the character map. Now, if you're on a Windows computer, if you go to the bottom left-hand corner, which is like where your start menu is, and you click on that or hover over it, you'll probably have a box where you can search. And in that search box, if you type character map, M-A-P, it should bring up your character map. At least you can see now, Lynn, great. Now, what I've also done, this live stream hopefully is being recorded to YouTube. In the description under this today's live, the 10th of June, I've put a link to a video that I did 3 years or so ago, which was how to use the character map for Windows. I did it on an old Windows laptop that we had at the time. Now it was, I think, using the font converter, but I think the basis of the video from memory shows you how to go and find the character map. But as I say, on Windows, if you go to the bottom left-hand corner to the start menu and then type in character map, hopefully you should be able to kind of follow along. So I've got this word, Ola, I'm not sure how you say it, and I've chosen the Calgary font. So on my Mac, I'm going to click the F4 key on my keyboard, which brings up my font book. And in my font book, I've got all fonts selected. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay, so I'm going to go and find Calgary in this list, and hopefully it's here. And if not, I'll have to choose another font. And it doesn't look like it's here. So let's see what we've got that might have special characters. Okay, chalkboard. Let's see if we've got chalkboard in here. Chalkboard. Okay, I'm changing it to chalkboard only because I can't find Calgary in my... Leslie, you've got yours up. Right, great. So if anyone's got any questions, ask Leslie. So I'm in Canvas Workspace. You can see that, aren't you? I'm just keep going back checking. I'm in the font called Chalkboard. You just choose any font you want and we'll see if it works for you. I've got my font book open on my Mac and I've got Chalkboard selected. Okay, let me just double check you can still see what I'm showing you. So once you're in your character map, or if you're on a Mac, on your font book, once you choose your font, all your font letters will show up here in this window. Okay, Leslie, you might not have it. I think Chalkboard is a font I've downloaded from DaFont. Tell me what font you've got, Leslie, and I'll see if I've got the same font. And then, at least if you're on Windows and I'm doing it on a Mac, if we've got the same font, then it might make things easier. Give me a clue of a font that you've got, Leslie, because that might be helpful for everybody. So Erica's saying you're on Windows and it's missing, so you've chosen a different font as well. That's fine. Obviously, you know, we've all got different fonts, haven't we? And I don't know what you've got, so I was just choosing something at random. So if Erica or Leslie can give me an idea of a font that you've got on your Windows computer, I'll see if I've got it and we'll see if it's got any special characters. Baskerville. Okay, so let's go to Canvas Workspace. And let's look for Baskerville. Okay, so that's there. Now let me go to my font book and see if Baskerville is there. It is. Great. Okay, so we've got Baskerville chosen. So what you'll see then when you go into your character map, or in my case, as I say, the font book, you'll see all the letters and fonts and apostrophes and everything else that goes with the particular font you've got chosen. But when you scroll down, you'll also sometimes see special characters. And sometimes you'll see them over a letter as well. Sometimes you see them on their own. Sometimes you see them over a particular letter. So I'm looking for an A, but this A has got the accent going the wrong way. So in this particular font, I'm not so sure whether I can do it. So I'm going to keep scrolling and see if I can find a small A with that accent going in the opposite direction. And so, they're not always necessarily in alphabetical order. That's the other thing. So you've got to kind of scroll through and look for them. So there's quite a lot of stuff in here, but nothing that I can particularly see that I'm looking for at the moment. So we may have to choose a random one, or we may have to choose the accent going the wrong way, but at least you'll get the idea. So let me see, I'm just going to keep going. These look as though they're in some kind of alphabetical order now. Right, I'm going to go back to save time. I'm going to go back to the one that's got the accent going the wrong way, and that'll do for now. Okay, so here. So you should be able to see it highlighted in blue. So I'm going to come back to my Canvas workspace. I'm going to select my word, so I've got the text box. I'm going to left click in the text box and I'm going to hit the backspace to get rid of the A. Then I'm going to come back to my font book. Now, I've got the wrong one chosen, there you go. This is where it might be different. In Windows, I have a feeling that when you select it like this, you can right click and choose copy. On a Mac, I can't do that. So the way I do it on a Mac is I would select this A and drag it from the font book and drop it into my text box. And now you can see I've got my word. All right, I know the accent is going the wrong way because Google said it should be going from top right to bottom left, if that makes sense. And this is going the opposite way. But at least it'll give you an idea. Hi, Rosemary. So Erica's saying I've used as cute as, and it has loads. Okay, I'll see if I've got that. Line above, Ashley, someone's saying. Ah, perfect, thank you. So let's select the word in Canvas. Let's get rid of the wrong one. Go back to my font book. Well spotted, I couldn't see that, thank you. So I'm going to highlight it. I can't right click it. I'm right clicking and it won't let me click. But what I can do, I think, is go to the top of my page and go edit, copy, and then come back to Canvas and I'll try edit and paste. And that's put it in. So that's how to find the characters that you need for typing things. So what was it? It was Andre, wasn't it? Let me go back and find. So Ellen wanted Andre with an accent over the E. So if we just stick, let's try a different font. Let me look in my font book and see what we've got. Okay, I'm going to choose Apple Chancery. So I'm going to left click on the text again, left click on my Canvas page, and I'll type Andre, was it? Andre, yeah? And I'll make it bigger. And I'm going to change the font to Apple Chancery. Okay, so that's how this is looking now. And I think Apple Chancery is a canvas font as well. So I'm going to left click it again to bring up the text box. I'm going to click in and just get rid of the E. I just wanted to see how the name looked in full. Then I'm going to come back to my font book again. I'm on Apple Chancery, and you said with an accent over the E. I don't know whether it matters which way the accent goes, Ellen, but we'll go with this one for now. So again, I'm going to select it, and again I can either go to the top of the page and click edit and copy, or on my Mac I can drag it from the font book and drop it into the text box. And there is the word now with the accent over the E. So Ellen, is that what you meant when you asked me about how to do things with the special characters? I'm missing a load of comments, so I'm just going to scroll. So I've got Barbara Harty told me the one above. That was great, thank you. Erica's saying, how good is this? Ellen, Ashley, while I was waiting for an answer, I checked out some of your YouTube. I found that said hold a letter key down and it gives you the options. I don't know, Ellen, that video is over 3 years old, I think. And as I say, I only use a Mac. But if Leslie can just maybe say how you do it on Windows, Leslie, the only other thing I can suggest, Ellen, is, try and stick with me now if you can. And if I'm not answering your questions, if you go to YouTube later and in the search box on YouTube, just type how to use character map for Windows, and whichever Windows version you're using, like whether it's 7 or 10 or whatever. I don't even know what version Windows are on now, and you should find something, but hopefully this will give you a bit of a clue. So Linda, oh, hang on, it might have been answered there. Linda Lee is saying in Windows, just double click it or click insert. Okay. Beverly Smith saying, I managed to drag it across. Okay, so it seems to be working. Beverly, are you on Windows or Mac? Sue Lakin, is that text box only on a Mac? I use Windows and don't get that box. Sue Lakin, that's what I was saying. On Windows, it's slightly different. This is because I'm using a Mac. But you do get some kind of a box. I know you do, because I remember doing a video about it 3 years ago. As I say, there's a link under this video that tonight, there's a link to the previous one I did when I used an old Windows computer. But hopefully people will answer the questions in the comments here. Ellen's put I did. Patty H, I am lost. I can't remember how to find the font book. Right, Patty, if you're on a Mac, it's the F4 key on your keyboard. So I'll close mine down and then I'll click the F4 key on my keyboard. It'll bring up your applications window and you just go and find your font book and then it will open it. Okay. Caroline's saying, this is so good. I have friends around the world so I can now at least create their names properly. Yeah, brilliant. Patty H, you have a Mac. Charmaine, hello, following on my phone and just worked out how to say hi. Brilliant, Charmaine, thank you. Beverly is on Windows 10. Okay, well, Beverly, like I say, have you found... You've dragged it across and you're on Windows 10. Brilliant. Okay, so this is kind of just its basic, simplest form. And like I say, once you find either your font book on your Mac or you find your character map, it's called MAP, on Windows, you'll have a list of all your fonts. It might not look, if you're on a Mac, it should look like mine. Patty H has got it now, brilliant, thanks. On Windows, it might look slightly different, but you should be able to find a list of all your fonts. And when you click on a font, let's just try and choose another one. We've done chalkboard. I'm going to come to I know what we'll do. Let's go and find Samantha. Now, the Samantha font is a font that's very popular with people that use the Cricut machine for doing vinyl and things like this. And the full Samantha font, as far as I'm aware, you have to purchase. But on dafont.com, there is a version of Samantha, but it's limited, but it does have some special characters in it. So I'm scrolling down now and you're going to see just the basic text, which I'll create a word in a minute. But then as you start to scroll down and get further into it, you'll start to see some of the alternative, what they call glyphs or special characters. So let's make Ola and Andre smaller for now. And somebody give me a word. Just give me a random word while I have a quick drink and I have a read. So Erica's saying, I'm loving this. I had loads of fonts that said they come with flourishes but couldn't find them. Okay, so now you should be able to find them, Erica. Beverly's saying, brilliant. I use both Mac and Windows, so thank you. Okay, I only use Mac, I'm afraid now, so I do struggle a little bit when I'm trying to, explain for the Windows users. But if somebody can just give me, oh blimey, calligraphy, right, okay. Could you not choose anything smaller? Right, text, click on the page. Right, we'll do calligraphy first. CALLIGRAPHY. A random but appropriate word. And then I've got creative and bubble. Right, so I've got calligraphy and I'm going to hit enter. And because the last font I used was called Chancery, that's what's still selected. But what I'm going to do now, it's all right, Erica, I'm only kidding. I'm going to come to the fonts list and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go and find Samantha. And she's here. So I'm just going to make this bigger. Okay, so this is how the word calligraphy looks in the Samantha font when you just type it with your basic, keyboard. Okay, so let's go back to the font book and let's see if, I'm trying to make it smaller so I can keep everything still on the screen. So let's see if there's a nicer C or a nicer Y. So there's a C there. Let me scroll down and see if there's anything else. There's a small C there, if you can see that. Excuse the pun. Oh, here we go, this one. Is that a C? Or is that an L? No, that's an L. That must be the only C's there. Let's just keep going and have a look if there's anything else. Might do a Y. Oh, there's a nice Y. So I'm going to left click on the word calligraphy to bring up my text box. I'm going to click in the box and I'm going to delete the Y. Then I'm going to come back to the font book, choose the Y in my font book and drag it across and drop it. Now, you just have to bear with me because I'm coming off the page. Let me go back. Let me get rid of that because that's not what I want. Choose the Y, select it and drop it into the font book. And can you see it's put this Y with this big tail, and that's not going to work because the tail is going right through my word. So let's delete that and let's see if we can find something with a line going in the opposite direction. And we're struggling a bit because all the accents are going to the left. So let's put the Y back in. So the regular Y is going back in, and let's try it with the C at the beginning. That one, I think. So I'll select the word. I'm going to left click at the end of the box, and I'm going to use my computer's freezing. Were there some going to the right? Okay, well, let's try and see if I can do anything with... Right, I'm going to get rid of the C. So I've just got calligraphy now. I'm going to come back to the font book, come to this letter C, and drag it and drop it at the beginning, hopefully, of the word. And if it won't let me do that, I'm going to come to Edit, Copy, click at the beginning and do Edit and Paste. And for some reason, it's not doing it now. There we go. So can you see now I've got the C with this big curly tail. So somebody's just said there was some going to the right. So let's go and have a look. You're right, there are. So we can change the Y. Well spotted, guys. See, I'm that busy looking at my computer screen, and I'm trying to look at the font book, and I can't see for looking what's under my eyes. So I'm going to select the word again, click in the text box, get rid of the Y, come back over here, find the Y in my font book, and drag it and drop it at the end. And look what we've got now. I'm going to fill it with colour in the hope that you might be able to see it better. So can you see we've found like the special characters that are in Samantha, albeit that they are limited in this free version. And we've been able to change. In fact, I'm going to type the word again. So this is it in its normal format. Let's fill it with colour. So with the blue box around it, I'm assuming you can still see. Okay, so with the blue box around it, this is just typed with the normal keys on my keyboard. And then by going into the special characters, we've been able to change the C out and change the Y out for something more decorative. Now this leads me on to Christine, it's fine. It hopefully will be recorded and you can watch it later. Now this leads me on to, was it Erica that asked how to weld? So I'm going to take the colour out of both of these text. And I'm going to try and zoom in on the original one, first of all. So if you look at this text, it looks as though this C is touching the A, and it looks as though that's leading into the L, and this L here looks as though it leads into the I. But these are not welded. And the reason we know they're not welded is because where this tail of the L joins this I, there's a line. I'll try and zoom in a bit more. Bear with me. Right, can you see this L isn't welded here because there's a black line here. If I just show you this letter is already kind of welded to this because there's a gap there. Don't know if that makes sense, but this is not a welded word. So if you cut this would basically, it would cut the C and then it would cut the A, and when on the A where it reaches this bit of the C, it would cut that up as well, so you'd end up with bits there. You'd end up with bits where this L touches the I. So what you need to do now with this word is weld it. If you wanted to cut this, if you were just going to draw it, you'd be fine. You know, if you changed it from a cut to a draw up here, you'd be fine. But if you actually physically wanted to cut this, I mean, it's very, very skinny, this. The Samantha font is very, very fragile. That's one thing I would say. You'd probably only cut this in vinyl, and even then, it might be a little bit of a struggle. But you could use the offset trick, I think, which I showed a few weeks ago, and we'll try again in a minute. But with this selected, you need to come to Edit and Weld. And now, if I try and zoom in, can you see the C runs into the A now, and there's no line here where they overlapped. That means they've all welded, and the L has welded to the I. So this would all cut as one welded word now. Now, if I was going to cut this in vinyl, I would probably try and see if I could add a tiny, tiny offset, because like I say, Samantha is very, very fragile. So I would come to Edit, scroll down to the bottom to Offset, and I would add the smallest offset outward, and I would say around everything, not just around the outside. So I'd untick this bottom bit here and see if it will give me an offset, and then if I drag the offset away, you'll see you've still got the same effect. Let me just move these out of the way, but your font is slightly thicker. I mean, you could try, if you were, if you wanted to cut the word calligraphy, you could try it, but as I say, Samantha is very, very fragile, so I would be more inclined to maybe put a small offset and use the offset rather than this one. So I'm just going to get rid of both of those for now, and we'll come back to this one that we've used the special characters on. Oh, I'm missing loads and loads of comments. I'm sorry, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. But again, this isn't welded. So if you were just going to draw this and put it on a scrapbook page, it would be fine to draw. But again, you'd need to weld it if you wanted to cut it, because where these tails of this kind of like handwritten type font, if you like, overlap, the machine would cut. So again, you just need to make sure it's selected and weld it all. And then again, if I zoom in, and I'll just zoom in on the front half, you can see the fancy C now goes into the A, and it's welded because there's no line there. It's all fluid, and this is all welded together. So let me just see what people are saying. I'm going to have to start at the bottom and work backwards. So Eric is saying, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I've been making mandalas and snowflakes all week, and it just didn't dawn on me to weld the letters into a word. Okay, Patty's saying wonderful information, thank you so much. Ashley, that's okay. I'm reading backwards, I'm sorry. Caroline, no wonder you struggle with names. Your brain is so full of ScanNCut information, there's no extra room. You're right, there's definitely no extra room. And it's not just full of ScanNCut, it's full of all kinds of nonsense, Caroline, honestly. Sometimes Hannah goes to tell me things and I say, don't, stop it, I can't have any more nonsense in my brain. And she laughs at me. There's no extra room. Thank you so much for all you share. You're welcome. Can it be changed to bold? So if we go to... It depends, I think, whether there's a bold option in the font that you want, if that's what you mean. Who's just said that? Linda. Explain what you mean, please. Sorry, that was my arm on the table. I've only just joined, been trying to find this for ages. We'll have to watch later. I missed. It's all right, Christine, don't worry. Very fancy. Charmaine saying I could just hug you. Oh, thank you, Charmaine. By Dawn, that's fantastic. There are lots of stamps like this. There definitely are. That's great. Sorry, I have to go. It's all right, don't worry. Right, I think I'm up to date with the comments. Cecilia, is saying hi. Hi, Cecilia. I've had my ScanNCut for a week now and love your videos. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I just thought it would be thicker in bold. Okay, let's see. Let's type. What was it? Somebody gave me another word. What was it? Was it creative or something like that? Let's try creative. So let's try and see if there's a bold option. Now, I've not got, on Samantha, I've only got regular. So there's another font that I have, which is called About Love. Lynn, sometimes you need to nudge the letters to make them weld, yes. But on these ones that look like they kind of already joined up, you tend not to have to, if that makes sense. Let's go back to my font book and go back to About Love and see if it's in here. And it doesn't look... Oh, there it is at the top. And see if we've got any characters in here. These special characters are not necessarily in all the fonts. So this is why I'm saying on your computers you need to check what fonts you've got and see what characters there are. There's nothing particularly fancy. Oh, here we go. There are. So let's see. Again, there's a C. We could change the C. So let's click on the word to select it. I'm going to put the cursor in front of the C and delete it. I'm going to come back to About Love and grab this C. This is very similar to the Samantha. Drop it in at the beginning. And then let's have a look and see if there's a nice E. A, B, C, D. There's an E. So I'll click back in here and get rid of the E. And then I'll choose this E and I'll drag that one in. Let's have a look, see what we've got. So I'm going to close my font book down just to give me a bit more room. So now you can see that the tail of this E is quite long and it does actually overlap and the rest of the letters overlap. But what you could do, you could try the spacing, Lynn, and sometimes my computer crashes when I'm doing screen recordings in Canvas for Computer when I use the character spacing. So if it crashes and I lose you all, I'll try and come back on. But we'll try it and see. So I've gone to -1 and it's put them in a little bit. So I'm going to leave it at that. With it all selected, I'm going to hit Weld. And can you see now where the V joins this E, it's welded together. And if I fill it with a nice bright pink, you might see it a bit better. So Lynn's okay with that. Linda, I've got an ooh from Linda. Can you choose a font sized by height, please? Sometimes I use 2 to 3 boxes and then struggle with getting them the same size. Okay, Jill, just tell me, I'm not quite sure what you mean, but I'll give it a go if you let me know exactly what you mean. So as I say, you go and have a look in your character map or in your font book and click on your fonts and just see, you know, what's in them. I'll bring mine up again, F4, font book. I'll just wait for Jill. And this is basically what I do. I'm going to make it bigger. And then I literally, you know, I'll click on random fonts and I'll just see what's in them. And you know, sometimes you come across little, you know, gems and you think, oh, that would be nice, and I'll change that letter. I mean, look at these. Some of these are really swirly. I don't know if I'd want to actually try and cut some of these because I think you might end up with bits. But I mean, that H is nice, isn't it? You know. So just, you know, just come through your fonts, and once you're in your font book, there's one here called Freehand. See, this has got all the like special characters above it. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Some do, some don't, and you just literally have to, you know, work your way through. But that's a good thing about dafont.com, because when you find a font on there and you select the font, you don't even need to download it. You select the font, it will show you all the characters that are in it, and that's how you come across some of these things. I think that's how I found this About Love. I found it on Dafont and I saw that it had these special characters included, so I downloaded it. Right, let me just go back to I agree with Jill. Can you choose a font? Right, okay. How to make different lines the same size. Ellen, I don't know what you mean. So do you mean like if I've got this word creative, but I wanted to make another word the same height? Is that what you mean? I'm not quite sure. Let's try it. We'll create a duplicate. So let's change this word, if my computer doesn't crash. I think I've got too many things on the go now. It's taking up too much memory. Charmaine, are you on a Mac? All right, I'm going to get rid of some of these because I'm having trouble with the text now. So, how am I changing the font? Jill, is that a question to me? Can you move shortcut to character map on the desktop? I honestly don't know, Leslie. As I say, I'm not a Windows person, but if somebody on here does know, hopefully they'll let you know. Right, so Ellen is saying, I'm making a sign with two lines, different words, no matter if I try to give them the same size. With the edit tab, they still are different. Okay, what two words are you using, Ellen, and what font? Oh, okay, so that was Alison that was answering a question, not me. Okay, that's fine. The other thing, Ellen, as well is if you're using two different fonts, then obviously you're not necessarily always going to get the same height. So Ellen's saying I made a sign. Yeah, but what words? Linda's saying I've got the character map in the bottom bar. Okay, so does that mean you can kind of pin it in the bottom bar? Okay, so Jill and Linda, I think you're having a conversation between yourselves. I think I'm getting a bit confused with what's going on there. Okay, so Ellen's saying first line, a feeling, next line, same font, different line. Okay, well, let's try it. What font, Ellen? If it's a font I've got, I can try it for you. If not, I'll just have to choose a random font. Leslie's saying I have managed to move it into Canvas screen. A feeling first line. Okay. So A. A feeling first line. I'm going to duplicate this. Select it to get the box, and what she's saying the second line is F-R-I-E-N-D, friendly ambience, is that? A-M-B-I-A-N-C-E. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Charmaine, you're on Windows. Okay, well on Windows, Charmaine, it's called the character map, as far as I'm aware. It's called Font Book on a Mac. Yes, to can pin it or have it on your desktop. Okay. Sugar cubes. Don't know what that's all about. After typing a word, can you then hit return? No, you can't. There's no carriage return in Canvas for web or for computer. You have to literally type one, like Ellen's saying, one line would be this word and the second line would be this word. Sugar cubes is the font. Okay, don't think I've got that, but we'll have a look. No, I've not. So, should I? Yeah, sugar is the name of the font. Okay. So basically, I've still got About Love here. So, with the bounding box around a feeling, it's telling me here that the height is 1.20 inches. When I click on the next line here, it's telling me the height is 1.21. So if you're typing it in the same font, Ellen, this should be the same height. If you want to make the words a particular height, so let's say you want this to be, I don't know, let's try 3 inches. And then let's try this at 3 inches. So I'm just selecting it and changing the height over here on the edit to 3 inches. So it's telling me that both those words are the same height. And if I put them over the top of each other, they look as though they are. Yeah, I think you may be right, Linda. You can't do carriage return, so you've got to type. In this case, if this is what Ellen you wanted, you'd have to type a feeling and then in the same font type your next line. And so long as you're typing them in the same font, they should be the same height. What am I missing now? So Leslie's saying if you right click on it and click move, you can take it into Canvas. Okay. Charmaine's saying I found it. I'm just so excited. Brilliant. Okay. Crafty Sal is saying where do I find character map, please? Crafty Sal, if you're on a Mac, this is what I said earlier. You need to click the F4 key on your keyboard, which will bring up your applications folder, and your font book is in your applications folder. So if I choose F4, here's my font book. When I select it, it opens my font book. Okay, and then if you go back and watch the rest of the video, you'll see what we've been doing. Ellen is articulating it better than me. Crafty Sal, type in the search box. Ellen, I did exactly that you said, but it still came out differently. I finally just layered one over the other and sized it. Okay, I don't know. I've not got that font, so I can't help at the moment. But as far as I'm aware, if you're using the same font and you're typing it in the same kind of like, this starts off with a capital and then this word feeling starts with a lower F, and the first letter of the next line starts with a capital, it should all follow. Do you then group them? I would, Caroline, if I was making this into a plaque, I would select them both. I would line them up centrally here on the edit tab. And if you were going to cut these again, I would select the word and weld it. Now that's done something odd and I don't know why. But what I'm going to do, it's still, oh, I know. I'm going to change it back to 3 inches high. And that's all welded together. And then I'd weld this as well, because like I said earlier, these letters, like this R here going into this I, is not welded. So you need to weld the letters. So I'm going to hit weld. It'll probably go small again. And then I'm going to take it back to 3 inches high. So I would then, I've got a feeling, this is welded. And then I've got friendly ambience. I'd select both, center them together, and then I'd make them a group. So right click and group, or go to, is it the layers tab at the bottom and group. And then you would cut that. Obviously at this size it's bigger than this mat, so if you're only cutting it from a 12 by 12 mat, you'd have to make it smaller, or you could possibly, how wide is it? Let's see how wide it is. Yeah, it's 13 inches wide. You couldn't even rotate it, but if you've got a 12 by 12 24 mat, you could cut it. Jill's saying, what if the second line didn't have a capital letter? Then it would probably be smaller. So if we undo, see if we can undo everything. So if I choose this again and come back to where it says friendly and get rid of the F and use a lowercase f, it's still the same height as it was originally, 1.21. Weld it, and then I'll make it 3 inches so it matches with the other one. So as far as I'm aware, as long as you're using the same font, they should usually, unless in the font that you're using, your characters are completely different heights, then that would affect it. But again, you've got to play with it. I'm kind of giving you the tools, if you like, and trying to give you as much information as I can. And then it's up to you guys to go and play with your own words and see, your own words, your own fonts, and, see how it works in the fonts that you want to use. Because obviously, as with this one, I've not got the font that Ellen is using, so it's a little bit difficult. Right. Charmaine's saying, Alison, are you working in Canvas on your computer or the online? Charmaine, are you having a conversation? Oh, right, you're having a conversation with Alison. I'm using the computer-based version, Charmaine, because that enables me to use any font that's on my computer. If you're only using Canvas online, then you're restricted to the fonts that you have in the online version. So Leslie's saying, just done it in Lucinda handwriting. Okay, let's see if I've got that. So let's type the word summer, and I'll make it bigger in the hope that you can see it. And I'll come up to my fonts And I'll see if I've got Lucinda, was it? Was it Lucinda, Leslie? Lucinda. Thought I had that. Don't appear to have that. Now let's try another one. Let's have a look at Black Rose. So if you look at this, these letters are not quite touching on this particular font. The S is completely separate. The U and the M look as though they overlap, but this M to this M are not really touching. So this is probably a case for using the character spacing. So if we take it down and then see if we can weld, that looks as though it's welded. So let's zoom in. So I use the character spacing on this one to weld the letters together. Right, I'm sure I am missing. Is it Lucida? Okay. Let's try Summer again and let's have a look. I think I had Lucida, but not. It was probably just me, wasn't it? Not Lucida Grande. That's very gappy, isn't it? But again, you know, if you try the character spacing and squash them together and then weld, it will weld. Or another way would be, let's use that same font because that's got quite big gaps in it. Let's get rid of that one to give me some more space. So can you see here, this one's got very big gaps in it. You could either use the character spacing like I did here to weld, or if it's something like this, I would probably be more inclined to break the word up. So I would come down to the bottom and hit divide and see if I can separate all the letters and then move them over and position them myself. And I find that anything with straight lines, like where this straight line of the U and the straight line of the M, they will all blend into one. So me personally, I would probably jiggle these about a bit. So I would maybe, you know, kind of offset them and overlap them in different ways, you know, just to make it a little bit more fun, and then select everything and weld. Now they're not overlapped because that didn't weld. So if I go select them again and weld. And then I sometimes think if I fill it with colour, you can see better. So if I fill this one with colour and make it bigger, that's not even overlap there. So if we go to, might have to break this one apart. Can you see how the U is a flat line and so is the M? So if you weld these two together, you're just going to get like one big rectangle. I'll show you what I mean. So if I select them and weld them, can you see? You just end up with like a big fat rectangle from your U to your M. So it all depends on the font. So with straight line fonts, I would be more inclined to kind of break them up and jiggle them about like this. Right, let's see. It's 7 o'clock, so if there's anybody with any questions, let me know. So is there a way you can cut a word in half horizontally so you can use the bottom half as an edge on a card? Yes, I've shown how to do that previously. Let's try it with this one. I'll weld all this together for now. So if you take a basic shape and squash it down, and again, this isn't probably going to look right because You know, I've not got a particularly special font here, but let's try this. So the skinny rectangle is on top of the word summer. Let's do subtract. That's broken them apart, but they're still together. So with it all selected, you've got to hit divide and see if it breaks it apart. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's probably because it's been welded originally. Oh no, there we go. So divide. So if I select the bottom half and bring that down and just make that a group for now, and then select the top half and make those a group, I've got the word split in half. So does that answer the question for whoever just asked me that? Andrew. Yeah. Charmaine, that's clever. I love that. Is it difficult to make stencils? Ellen, I've shown how to make stencils weeks ago on my channel using shapes. And if you want to make words into stencils, there are some stencil fonts in Canvas Workspace online. You'll probably have stencil fonts, you know, on your computer. But you would also be able to make stencils. You have to put like what are called bridges in, little breaks basically. And I have shown how to do that in the past. But Ellen, if you give me a specific word and a font that you want me to make into a stencil font, if you send me a message, I'll try and see if I can come up with maybe a tutorial maybe for next Wednesday. Jill saying, thanks so much, Ashley. Really appreciate your patience. Mags is saying, love that. Be good for Father's Day card from the cat. Yeah. Don't forget to like or thank you. Awesome. Thanks so much. Ashley, how can you keep all this in your head? I honestly don't know, Mags. That's why I think I can't remember anything, because my head's full of rubbish. And to be perfectly honest, I even have to go back and watch some of my old videos sometimes, because I think, how did I do that? I know, isn't that bad? But anyway. Good shout. Caroline, separating the word is awesome. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, you can. You can do it with shapes or anything. Watched the stencil video this morning. Oh, great, Alison. I hope it helped. Thanks, Ashley. I'll do that. Yeah. As I say, go to my website, applelover53.co.uk, go to the contact page, send me a message, let me know what word and what font. And if I've not got the font, I'll try and find it, and I'll see if I can turn it into a stencil font for you, and we'll maybe do that next Wednesday. And if anybody else has got anything along the similar lines, if you message me, and I'll try and combine them. But really, this tonight was more because, obviously, Ellen, was it, originally asked me how to put the special characters, and then was it Erica had asked about welding, so I kind of combined them both. So I hope it's been helpful for everybody. Ellen, goodbye. Maria is saying, fabulous, always like before watching, brilliant. Thank you, Ashley, for another brilliant tutorial. Have a great rest. Yes, loved it. Oh, lovely, thank you. Jennifer, thank you. Right. I'm going to go then. Terrific class, thank you. Hit the thumbs up, everybody, before you all go. Oh, yeah, thanks, Leslie, for asking for them to do that. Brilliant. Got 19 thumbs up at the moment. And there are 55 people on here. So if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be great. Just having a quick drink of my juice, because I'm getting a bit of a dry throat now. Dawn Johnson saying, I need to really practice this a lot. Thank you for a great tutorial. You're welcome. See you Sunday. Beverly, thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. And Jennifer. Maria, thank you. Erica, thank you so much, Ashley. I'm going to have to run. My daughter has turned into a deer. It's fine, Erica. Don't worry. Have a lovely night. Leslie, and the same to you. Hope everything's okay with you, Leslie. Oh, thank you, Linda. Charlotte saying, thank you, Ashley, always something new. Caroline's giving me hearts, that's lovely, thank you. It does make it all worthwhile. And I know probably, hopefully some of you are still here. I just want to say thank you to everybody that is sending me photographs of your projects, because it's actually so heartwarming, honestly, to see the things that you're trying, because you're seeing me do it in these, Sunday lives or Wednesday lives. It's lovely knowing that you're actually there and giving it a go, and people are sending me photographs. And there's going to be a blog post on my blog this Saturday showcasing a load of your photographs that you've sent me recently, everybody. So that's lovely. And also for the card sketch number 2, I've had 8 people send me pictures of their cards following the card sketch number 2, which is on my blog, and it's just a fun thing. So thank you very much. Angel, thank you. Linda saying, wash hands, wash hands. Good night, everyone. Keep safe. Yes, same to you, Barbara. Thank you for all this tuition, Ashley. You're a star. You're welcome. Stay home, stay safe, everyone's saying. Right, I'm going to go now, and I will hopefully speak to you all on Sunday. No idea what I'm going to do on Sunday. So again, if anybody wants to see anything in particular, if you send me an email, I'll see what I can do. I don't think I've got anything planned for this Sunday. It might be a canvas project again, or as I say, if you've got something you want me to do and I've got the, supplies, or it's something I can do, I'll try and do that on Sunday. But we'll try for stencils next week, I think. Stencil words, I think that will be. So I'm going to go now, everyone. So take care, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.